So welcome back to a brand new video, and in this video I'm bringing you guys a Texas Chainsaw Massacre update. Now this update is for sure going to get people talking, and that is going to get straight into this video. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a new home again, and that is Netflix this time around. Now what could this mean? As of the recording of this video, we don't know. It's just going to Netflix. Will it have a theatrical run? Will it have a limited theatrical run alongside a Netflix release? We don't know none of that yet. Only thing we know is it's a direct sequel to the original. Sally's returning, yay. Old Man Leatherface, yay. You can tell that I'm not too excited about the whole Old Man Leatherface thing, even though it's kind of exciting. I don't know. But besides all that, I've said my piece on this movie before. It's going to Netflix, and you can feel how you feel about that. In my opinion, it is what it is. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to sit here and gripe about something that I have no control over. But not only that, these movies have to make money, and if they don't think it's going to make money in the cinema, and they want to think like that, they can, because you have to understand, we are living in the times that we are living in. Not many movies aren't making that much money. You know, Candyman was able to make enough money to please the studio and hopefully get a sequel, but I think it could have made way more if it wasn't for what's going on in the world right now. You know, I'm a huge supporter of the whole theatrical release. I'm a huge supporter of that. I said in my Candyman review, if you can, purchase a ticket. Go see the new Candyman. It's amazing. That ending, I think that is the icing on the cake because of where they could go with future sequels. But in Texas Chainsaw Massacre's case, you have to understand nobody's talking about this movie. Let's be honest, nobody really cares that this thing is really happening. You know, and that's partly because of the studio's decision on what they wanted to do. But, you know, and look what's going on right now. I mean, look what's going on. Movies aren't making that much money. If you release a horror movie, a comic book movie, two of the biggest movie genres is horror and comic book movies. If you release one of them out, you're rolling dice if you're going to make all your money back, or half your money back, or none of your money. You're really rolling the dice. So I think we're about to see, if this does well on Netflix, we're going to see a change in horror. And I think cinemas will still be around for years. But you're seeing what they're doing with horror movies. You saw it first with comic book movies. You saw what they was doing with comic book movies. Now they're doing it with horror movies. These studios have to make their money. I mean, if we want these, if we want future installments in a franchise, these studios have to make their money. There's not a lot. I don't agree with studios with a lot of their decisions, but if we want future installments, more films, they got to make their money. And if we're living in a time where, again, comic book movies, horror movies aren't making as much, they gotta come up with something, you know, the new Evil Dead is going to HBO Max. Supposedly, the new Hellraiser is going to Hulu. We're going to see a change in horror very soon. And again, cinemas still going to be around for years. Horror will always be in the cinemas, just like comic book movies. But these studios have to make their money, and I really won't be surprised if last minute Universal Blumhouse makes a statement about Halloween Kills that, like, we're still putting this thing out in the cinema, but we're also going to put it out on VOD or just ship it off to maybe Netflix or Hulu, just so they can make that extra cash that they need in their pockets for future installments that we want. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre update, bottom line, like I've been saying, it's the new home, it's Netflix. I'm not upset about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Would I love to see a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the cinema? Yes, I would, but if it's got to go to Netflix, I'm fine with it. And one of the things is, you got to understand too, this means we can get the film, they could still meet their deadline of having this film out by the end of the year. It's the end of August. Them announcing this news now, meaning we can get official teaser in just a few weeks. October, we can see in October we can see a official trailer, and I think September September or October, excuse me, I don't really remember, Netflix is having some type of huge event. So, be honest with you, I'm expecting them to have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre panel there. Again, Netflix don't have to prep for a theatrical release. So we can see this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie in November or December. So the two positives to look at this are number one, if this does well, there's really three positives. If this does well, Netflix is going to do more horror movies, whether that be, you know, big franchises or smaller franchises like they did with Fear Street. Number two, they don't have to prep for a big theatrical release, so they could start promoting this thing at Netflix's like promotional panel for their future like shows and movies. They can have the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre out at the end of November, the middle of December. You know, I could actually see that. So we shall wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre and this update in the comments below. Catch you guys in the next video.